Hello, this is Right Side Trader. Today is February 27th, 2026, and this is my weekly market review. We're reviewing the NASDAQ 100, that's QQQ, on a quarterly chart, monthly chart, weekly chart, and a daily chart. This is all for educational purposes only, no trade recommendation, because as we all know, trading is risky. You can lose money at trading, so please check with your financial advisor. Please check with your significant other, and make sure trading is something that is suitable for you. All right, let's jump over here to these charts and see what we see. Maximize this, resize this, zoom in a little bit here. On this quarterly chart, what we see is red. We're turning red here this quarter. The market is down a little bit. The NASDAQ, definitely money is rotating maybe out of the NASDAQ at this time, out of some of these tech stocks. Things have been kind of weak here, or it's something that's definitely something that's going on. People are reallocating their cash or doing something is going on. We got a red month here. So be careful, be careful, be careful. A red quarter here. Now, let's take a look at this monthly chart. On this monthly chart, we have a red month at this time. If I would zoom in, I'm going to zoom in here a little bit more. You would almost want to say that you have kind of like an evening star here, these three candles, but it's below this high right here. So I wouldn't put so much into that, but again, it's what it is what it is, what we see here. The thing is, we'll come next month. We are already below on these are quarterly pivots though. We're already below the pivot. Will we end up sliding somewhere down here and kiss this 10 again? Maybe come down here to a support 1. What's going to happen? The support 1 will put us still somewhere around, let's say around 185 somewhere. It's in the middle here between, it's above 185. 585 and all. If we do come that low, and it definitely would put us below, the 10, 9, 10 moving average and all. That would technically put us into a bear market. At this time, we're not there since we're above the 9-10 moving average, which is this line right here. We are still technically in a bull market, so I'm not too over concerned. It's just that we have this red candle finished up the month with a red candle. The question is, will we get this mislocated evening star on this chart or not? That's what I'm looking at. But let's go ahead and go down to our weekly chart and see what we see there. Zoom in here on this weekly chart. What we see here last week, what I saw was this bullish engulfing. We did end up green, but we definitely didn't get a confirmation. We didn't get a candle up here. The market did try to go up here, but it ended up closing back down here with a doji at this time for the week and all. And these are monthly pivots on this weekly chart and all. So we look like we're going to be opening up next month somewhere below pivot. So again, that's not good. That means we'll maybe looking to a weak month, maybe a red month come next week. Anything can happen. It's just based on what I'm seeing at this time. Will we get confirmation of this bullish pattern? We will need a close. I would look for a close somewhere way up here, somewhere above up there and all. Or are we going to get a close somewhere down here close to the support 1 level and all to come this month? Since to come next month, we will look like, unless we gap up come Monday morning, gap up above pivot, I am looking at us going below, opening below pivot and going to at least a support 1 level if that actually happens. But we got to kind of wait and see what actually happens and all. But that's what I see here on this weekly chart. Let's go ahead and go down to our daily noise and see what we see there and wrap this on up. On our daily noise, I'm going to zoom on in here a little bit like here. What I have on here, though, if you see these couple of these lines, this is a 50 moving average, and I have a 200 moving average on here. And let me just show you that. The 200 is further down here. And the reason I put that on here is before I was saying that it looked like we was up in an area above this 50. Then a couple of weeks ago, we had got down where we dropped down in another range. I said we dropped down to a lower range, and this is where we're trading at right now, down here in this lower range here in this area. And at that lower range just happened to be below the 50 moving average. And I don't know if that's significant or not. Just what I see. And again, we did. Let me zoom on in here a little bit more now, and all, since you see what I'm seeing, and all. We did start consolidating in here for the last 2 weeks. We popped up to the 50, and then we came down from the 50 and all. So again, be careful, be careful, be careful. Come next week, Don't know if we're going to actually get where we can open up above pivot, and then again we'll be at a resistance 1 level. That's right at that 50 again. Will we be able to break above that if this market wants to go higher? If not, will we break below the 600 and end up closing below the 600 and get where, the 200 start acting as support on this daily picture? This is something that's maybe significant or it may not be significant. This is just what I want to say. This is what we see here happening on the charts at this time. The big money is going to tell us. We will see what the big money is going to do. We can see definitely that the market is trading in a lower range, trying to stay above 600 from what it looks like, but it definitely is struggling at this time, and I just want to make sure I pointed that out. But that's it. That's pretty much all I see at this time. This is Right Side Trader. Hope you guys had a great week. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll speak to you next week. Have a good one. Bye.